Hello students, today we are going to talk about a new topic that is complex number. कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर्स से रिलेटेड क्वेश्चंस आपको चाहे आप क्लास 11th में बात करें, 12th में, जेई में बात करें या फिर कोई भी इंट्रेंस एग्ज़ाम्स या फिर कोई भी कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्ज़ाम फॉर गवर्नमेंट जॉब, दिस टॉपिक इज़ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. यहाँ से आपको 101% आपको क्वेश्चंस मिलेगा ही मिलेगा. Okay, and our today's class will cover the total complex numbers related problem. Okay, total complex numbers related problem, whatever it can generate, all the problems you will be able to solve after completing this class. Okay, so here we will go. See, till now we have seen our all the numbers, whatever numbers lies on our number line, we call it as a real number. Okay, real numbers. Real numbers means 1, 0, 2, 2.5, 1.555, something, something. Anything, any number that can lie on the real axis, all are real number. Okay, and this axis till now we have used only for magnitude purpose. Okay, for magnitude purpose we have used this vertical line. So but now we will use a different type of numbers that is called complex number. Complex number. Ideally speaking, every number is a complex number for me. If I say every number is a complex number, if somebody say like this is 1, this is not a complex number, but I will say yes, it is a complex number, but it is a complex number with imaginary part as 0. 1 plus 0 I. Imaginary part as 0. So कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर को जो रिप्रेजेंट किया जाता है वो किया जाता है a प्लस बी आई के थ्रू. a plus bi. Any number in this form is called complex number. Complex number. So in this type of numbers there is going to be a real part, and another is going to be an imaginary part. Okay, तो अगर if I represent as z that is equals to a plus bi, then I will say real part of z is a and imaginary part of z is b. Clear? So actually this I is having a different name that is called, we sometimes called iota. Okay, actually square root of -1 is nothing but I. जब आप -1 का स्क्वायर रूट लेते हो इट इज I. So I can say -1 is nothing but I square. Clear? So for complex you keep in mind your iota is nothing but iota square is equals to -1. So if somebody asks like what is the square root of -4, then you should not say we cannot calculate. No, you can calculate. It is square root of -I square into 2 square. So you can take it out as minus means plus 2I. Okay, because iota square is nothing but -1. So in place of -1 you can write I square. Okay, so like that we can just represent the complex number. Now one point is used to come like abhi tak real number like 2 is there, we want to add it with 3, then we used to write it 5. But what about the addition of complex number? So if a complex number, let's suppose z1 is equals to 1 plus I and z2 is another complex number that is 2 plus 3I. If somebody asks what is the summation of these two complex number, then what you have to do, you keep in mind this complex number if we want to add, then real part will get added, real part plus I into imaginary part. So what you have to do, रियल पार्ट को आप एक साथ ऐड करोगे एंड इमेजिनरी पार्ट्स को आप एक साथ ऐड करोगे. सो इन दैट केस व्हाट विल हैपन, आंसर विल कम एज 3 and imaginary part I plus 3I is equals to 4I. So this is your answer. So in case of summation of two complex numbers, real part will get added together and imaginary part will get added together. Same thing is with the difference. If you want to get j1 minus j2, then what you have to do, 1 plus I minus times of 2 plus 3I. So in that case what will happen, 1 minus 2 will come plus I minus 3I will come. Why? Because real part से subtract होगा, imaginary part से subtract होगा, तो you will get -1 minus 2i. This will be your answer. So this is all about addition and subtraction. So whenever you want to add two numbers, real part will get added, imaginary part will get added together. Similar case with the difference. Okay, now come to the, if we want to get multiply by two numbers, so let's suppose again z1 is equals to 1 plus I, z2 is equals to 2 plus I, like this. If somebody want, like I want to get multiply by two numbers z1 and z2, then what will happen? So in that case what will happen, 1 plus I will multiply it by 2 plus I. So if you do the multiplication, 2 will get multiplied by 1, so it will come 2 plus 2i plus I minus I square, or plus I square, yes, plus I square. So you know I square is nothing but -1. So you can do it 2 plus 3i minus 1. So if you solve it, you will get 1 plus 3i. So in case of the multiplication of two number, what you have to do, you have to follow this rule. Like it is simple, like a plus b, if you want to multiply it with the c plus d, then what do you do? C multiplied by a, c multiplied by b, d multiplied by a, d multiplied by b. This thing you have to follow. Same thing you have to follow in case of complex numbers. Correct? Now complex conjugate. Next part is complex conjugate. Complex conjugate. What does it mean? See, let's suppose there is a number z. It is a plus bi. This is my complex number. If I want to calculate complex conjugate, then it is represented by complex conjugate is represented by z bar. We used to write a bar on this complex number, and what we will do actually, we will do a plus bi bar. So this bar will do, I will be changed with minus I. This thing only it used to do. It will not change, any magnitude will not change, any numbers will not change. Only what will happen, I will be changed to minus I. So you see it will become a minus bi. So this is the complex conjugate of z, complex number. Okay, so this is complex conjugate. Actually it is required when we want to divide two numbers. For example, if we want to divide z1 is equals to 1 plus I, z2 is equals to 2 plus I, okay, and we want to get z1 divided by z2, what will happen? See, if you want to get 1 plus I divided by 2 plus I cannot solve it at all until and unless I am not using complex conjugate process. See, in that case what we have to do, any case numerator and denominator if it is there, what you have to do, आपको डिनोमिनेटर का कॉम्प्लेक्स कॉन्जुगेट लेना है. कॉम्प्लेक्स कॉन्जुगेट z2 का क्या हो जाएगा, 2 minus I. Then what you have to do, you have to multiply the numerator and denominator by this number. Means you are having z1 upon z2. ओके आप सेम नंबर से मल्टीप्लाई कर सकते हो, सेम नंबर से डिवाइड कर सकते हो, तो आपको चूज करना है योर डिनोमिनेटर पार्ट, और इसी के कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर से आप मल्टीप्लाई और डिवाइड करोगे. सो इन दैट केस व्हाट विल हैपन, z1 divided by z2 into z2 bar divided by z2 bar. Okay, or you can write z1 z2 bar divided by z2 z2 bar. So एक्चुअली आपका z2 बार क्या आएगा, यहाँ पे ये आएगा 2 minus I, because I will be changed by minus I. So अगर आप z2 बार कैलकुलेट करते हो, you see what you will get, 2 plus I multiplied by 2 minus I. Actually it is nothing but a plus b, a minus b. So what is that answer, a square minus b square. So 2 square minus iota square, and you know iota square is nothing but -1. So 2 square minus of -1. So if you solve it, you will get 4 plus 1, that is 5. Okay, so keep in mind z2 bar is nothing but a square minus b square type of thing. Okay, so in that case what will happen, z1 z2 bar and z2 bar will become 5. So now you have to do what, you have to take 1 plus I as a z1, and z2 bar will become 2 minus I divided by 5. Now this value you can solve it. How you can solve it? 2 will multiplied by 1 2 plus 2i minus I square divided by 5. So if you solve it, 2 and minus I square is minus 1. So you will write 2 plus I minus 1 divided by 5. So again you will solve it, 3 plus I divided by 5. So you see what we have done, we have got Z1 divided by Z2, and Z1 divided by Z2 has been converted into 3 plus I divided by 5. So this is a number in which we can separate 3 by 5 plus 1 by 5i. So it is a single conjugate number, single complex number. So in which real part is 3 by 5, imaginary part is 1 by 5. Clear? So this is the use of complex conjugate. So whenever you are having a number like a plus bi, you want to calculate complex conjugate of that, then it will be z bar is equals to a minus bi. And if you want to multiply these two numbers z bar, actually you will get a square minus b square. Clear? Yes. So you will get such type of number, a square minus b square. This is the meaning of complex conjugate. Now we will take another topic, that is modulus and argument. Modulus and argument of a complex number. Again, I will take an example of complex number z is equals to a plus bi. Now, modulus of z is represented by like this, mod z, and it is nothing but square root of a square plus b square. It means real part is square plus imaginary part is square root of that. Okay, and argument of z is represented by tan inverse of imaginary part of z divided by real part of z. So you can write tan inverse b divided by a. Now what is the meaning of this argument and modulus? See, actually we are having a complex plane like this. This is our real axis and this is our imaginary axis. Okay, real part of z and imaginary part of z. You are having a complex number z, that is a plus bi. Now you see real part is a. Let's suppose a will lie somewhere here, and imaginary part is b, and my suggestion is like b's part is here, b is lying here. So if I represent this point, I will get a point here. So this will be my z, that will be a comma b. Okay, this will be my z. So actually from origin, which is 0 0, if you want to calculate the distance of this point, your point z, you will get modulus of z. Okay, so this is the modulus of z. So actually your modulus of z is nothing but the distance between origin and that point. So origin and that point, if you want to calculate the distance, you will say a minus 0 square plus b minus 0 square. So if you will calculate it, you will get square root of a square plus b square. Okay, so this is called modulus. So modulus is nothing but a distance. So it is going to be always greater than equal to 0. So your modulus is always greater than equal to 0. Now come to the argument. What is the meaning of the argument? Argument is the angle that is being formed by this line with respect to the real axis. So this angle theta is called argument. Okay, so this is called argument. So your argument is angle with respect to the real axis. If I want to calculate this argument, can I draw a perpendicular on this axis? Yes, you see this is my A and this is my B, and this is nothing but a right angle triangle. This triangle is a right angle triangle. Okay, if I want to calculate this theta, it will be tan inverse of B divided by A, perpendicular divided by base. So this is called argument. Okay, so this is called argument and this is called modulus. Now on the basis of argument and modulus, one theorem has been provided by Euler. Okay, this is Euler's theorem. What it says? It says any complex number that is a plus bi can be written as z is equals to mod z e to the power j theta. Here mod z is equals to square root of a square plus b square, and e to the power j theta. Here theta is tan inverse b divided by a. Okay, so Euler says I can put this into this. Actually, this is a polar form, and this can be written as further z is equals to mod z cos theta plus j sin theta. Okay, so this is mod z cos theta plus j sin theta. This can be represented like this. So for a complex number, polar form is this one, polar form, and polar form again can be represented into simple complex form by using Euler's theorem. Okay, so this is the polar form. If somebody asks you like a z is equals to 1 plus 2i is there, find its polar form. So you see, for this mod z will become square root of 1 square plus 2 square, so it will become square root of 1 plus 4, that is square root of 5. And now if we want to calculate the argument, that is theta, then it will be tan inverse of 2 divided by 1, so tan inverse of 2. Okay, so if you want its polar form, then polar form will be square root of 5 e to the power j theta. Here theta is equals to tan inverse of 2. You can write it, yes. Okay, or if somebody want that no you please represent it, then in that case what you have to do, you have to write real part of z, imaginary part of z. Okay, and your number is somewhere here because it is 1 comma 2, because real part is 1, imaginary part is 2. So if you match this origin with this number like this angle is theta, and theta is nothing but tan inverse of 2. Okay, so this is the representation. So this is your polar form, and this is your representation of the polar form. Clear? Now we are having another topic with related to this one, that is Argand plane and polar representation. So polar representation already we have seen. Now Argand plane. Actually Argand plane used to say, like our Cartesian coordinate system, we will have two axes like this. This is my real part of z, and this is imaginary part of z. Okay, if we want to represent any number, any complex number, like my complex number is z, that is a plus bi. Okay, if a is greater than 0 and b is also greater than 0, then it will lie in first quadrant. Okay, then it will lie in first quadrant. And if a is greater than 0 and b is less than 0, then it will lie in fourth quadrant. Okay, if a is less than 0 and b is greater than equal to 0, then it will lie in second quadrant. Okay, and if a is less than 0 and b is also less than 0, then it will lie in third quadrant. Similarly, if somebody asks you like I am having a complex number z, that is 2i, so you see 2i, it is having real part of z as 0, okay, and imaginary part of z as 2. Okay, it is 2. So where it will lie? Actually it will lie on the imaginary axis, somewhere here it will lie, so where the magnitude is 2. Okay, so this is z. If somebody asks you like z is equals to minus 2i, then it will lie somewhere here. Okay, so accordingly we can represent any complex number. Sometime question used to be asked like what is the representation of this complex number. Okay, so we can represent it in Argand plane. So this is called Argand plane. Argand plane. Now in similar to Argand plane, if somebody asks like my Argand plane is this one, this is my Argand plane, this is my real part of z, and this is imaginary part of z. Okay, if somebody asks like I am having z is equals to 1 plus 2i, okay, you please represent it. So you see my real part is 1, imaginary part is 2, both are greater than 0, so both will lie in first quadrant. Okay, so it will lie somewhere here. Okay, so it will be 1 and imaginary part will be 2. If I ask you what is the conjugate of this number, so you will write z bar is equals to 1 minus 2i. So where this number will lie, you will say it is having real part as 1 only and imaginary part is here minus 2. So your number will lie somewhere here. Okay, so your number will lie somewhere here. So this is z bar and this is your z. So what we are seeing actually, if we want to calculate the complex conjugate will be the mirror image with respect to the real axis. So complex conjugate is the mirror image with respect to the real axis. So keep in mind, with respect to real axis, if you want to check see the image, then it will be the complex conjugate. Clear? So it will give a complex conjugate. Now with the use of this complex conjugate and this our complex numbers, in case of quadratic equation, in case of quadratic equation, now it will become very easy to solve the roots. You know ax square plus bx plus c is equals to 0. This is my simple quadratic equation. Then its root will be x is equals to minus b plus minus square root of b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. These are my roots. So while you are taking positive sign, you will get one root. While you are taking negative sign, you will get another root. For example, if I am having a question x square plus x plus 1 is equals to 0. Now it is required to get the value of x. So you see here a is 1, b is 1, c is 1. So if you want to get the value of x, you will get minus 1 plus minus square root of 1 minus 4 divided by 2. So you will get minus 1 plus minus square root of minus 3 divided by 2. And you know square root of minus 1 can be written as I. So you will write minus 1 plus minus square root of 3i divided by 2. So your minus 1 plus minus square root of 3i divided by 2. So you will get x value as x is equals to minus 1 plus square root of 3i divided by 2, or x is equals to minus 1 minus square root 3i divided by 2. So two roots you will get. So this is all possible because of the complex numbers, because this was not having any real solution, but it is having a complex solution. Okay, so accordingly you can solve whatever questions used to be asked. Here is a question that has been asked in some exam, so I will write it. Question is 1 plus I divided by 1 minus I 1 minus I to the power m is equals to 1. Here question has been asked, find the least integer value of m. Integer value of m. See how to solve this. See, like this, if number is there, first thing we should do, we have to change this into the form of normal. So this division will not work. So what to do in that case? What you do, 1 plus I divided by 1 minus I is there. You can write 1 plus I as square root of 2 e to the power j theta 1. And theta 1 is tan inverse of 1, correct? That is 45 degree. So this can be written as square root of a to the power j 45 degree. Now come to this one. So if you want to read this one, it will be square root of 2 e to the power j theta 2. Now if you want to calculate theta 2, you will write tan inverse of minus 1. Okay, you see this number 1 minus I will be having here real axis, and imaginary axis, so angle will be somewhere here. Okay, so you see this is going to be negative, so this is going to be minus 45 degree. So you can write it as square root of e to the power j minus 45 degree, correct? So this is your first numerator and this is your denominator. Now if you want to write, you are having square root of 2 e to the power j 45 degree divided by square root of 2 e to the power minus j 45 degree to the power m. Okay, and that has to be 1. So square root 2 will get cancelled, and e to the power j 45 into e to the power j 45 to the power m is equals to 1. So this you can write it as e to the power j 90 to the power m. Okay, is equals to 1, or you can write e to the power j 90 into m is equals to 1. And you know e to the power j theta is nothing but 1 e to the power j theta is nothing but 1 cos theta plus j sin theta, correct? So you can write it e to the power j 90m can be written as cos of 90m plus j sin 90m. If it has to be 1, it means your real part only should exist, imaginary part should be 0. So for imaginary part to be 0, if m is equals to 0, you see what will happen. M is equals to 0 will become cos of 0 plus j sine of 0. Okay, and this will become 0, this will get 1. Correct? Now the question is, if m equals to 0, then it is possible, but m equals to 0 is not a not a whole, it not a actually integer we will not count, we will count 1 2 3 and all. If I want to go with, because 0 was obvious, anything power 0 is always 1. Okay, so now we have to see next number whatever it is possible. So for next number, you see cos of 90m plus I sine of 90m is there. If m is equals to 0, we have seen. If m is equals to 1, what will happen? Cos 90 plus j sin 90. And you know cos 90 is 0 plus j only will exist. If m is equals to 2, what will happen? Cos of 180 plus j sin of 180. You know cos 180 is nothing but minus 1 and j sin 180 is 0. If m is equals to 3 I take, then it will become cos of 270 plus j sine of 270. Okay, so you know cos of 270 can be written as cos of 180 plus 90. Okay, plus j sine of 180 plus 90. So again you will get minus j as answer. So if m is equals to 4, now what will happen? Cos of 360 plus j sine 360. Now what will happen? Cos 360 is nothing but 1 and this is 0. So least integer other than 0, m equals to 4 is the right answer. Okay, so similarly you can follow all your questions with respect to the complex numbers. I hope this video is quite useful to solve various questions related to the complex number. Thank you.